Welcome to Tangling along with me. We are going to continue on tanglepatterns.com and we're gonna make this pattern, but first we will start up this new page. This is another black page. Next time I will make sure it is not a black page, but we're almost through all the black pages. There's only 4 sides left with black, and then we are back into some gray territory, and then the tan, and then we will get to the white at some point, but we are over halfway in the book. So I will go and take my white charcoal for this black page, and I will start with a dot in each of my corners, and I'm not sure you can see that one, but it's there. Then I will connect those dots with a line, and this line does not need to be really straight. You can do it straight if you want to, but you don't really need to. And in Zentangle it's just kind of more interesting when it is not in a straight line. I'm going to make some lines here across. To make a few rooms here, and then I might actually kind of make a chessboard pattern here. And we know that if you know me right, this will not look like this when I'm all done with this page, because there's kind of a few rooms here that might be way too big. But let's start with one of these rooms. I actually think the first we are going to do is it's kind of a it is kind of a border tangle, so I were thinking we could do it along one of those, maybe this one. And I am using a light gray Moonlight 06 jelly roll. This doesn't have a name, but it is this code. It has, I'm not sure if you can see the code number. And I'm also going to use this one. This is another Sakura Moonlight 06, and it has this number. It is a darker gray than the first one. You can see the difference here, but I'm starting with the light one. What I like about these 06 is that they are actually pretty thin, so I really like that. Okay, let's start with a orb here. Then I will go across and make an orb here, go across, make an orb, go across, make an orb, and I'm gonna do that all the way down my line here, and I will come back and erase some of that line because that is a very clear visible line I have here. And I'm not making my orbs too small. I can have one right here, and I'm not making them way too big either. So just somewhere in between. And now I'm just carefully trying to get rid of my string line there because it is way too visible and it will not disappear from this book. Then we are going to make lines, and they don't hit the orb. They're really close to the orb, but they don't hit the orb. I am going to do it this way first. And I'm trying to have around the same distance between these two lines all the way down my page here. Then I'm gonna turn my book a tiny bit so I can make my lines. So I have my border this way, so I want to make 2 going up here. Again, not touching my orb. And they're around, what, a centimeter's length. Oh. This was not that long. And here. Then I'm gonna turn my book again because I want to have, let me just be sure you can see what I'm doing. I want to have them this way so it's kind of going in a zigzag. So I'm having my lines from one orb to the other. Again, I'm not hitting the orb at any point. I'm not good with my distance between the orbs. Actually, I should have just some there. Turning my book so I can make them straight down from the orbs. And I'm of course just taking my time with this. And it's only the bottom part, like it was only the top part before. So I'm gonna leave my book like this. And now I am going to make kind of a little loop here between these lines and around my orb. So between these lines here, here, and here. And I'm kind of making it bubble out. So it's not a perfect aura around the orb. It's more like a little flower. And this way it also works even if your lines are a bit wonky around the orb. So that's pretty neat. Again, taking my time and trying not to push down with my jelly roll. You want that to flow over the paper instead of being squashed into the paper. Like I said, we don't want to choke our pens. I like to say that. So I'm just making sure I'm doing this everywhere where I have a orb. And of course I am taking my time with this. Perfect. So I am going back here to this one, and here we are going to make a bubble line from here to, I need to know, to down there. So just making sure here. So I'm starting at that line, making a tiny B shape, ending here in that corner, and I'm gonna do that everywhere. So a tiny bubble and then a little bigger bubble and ending there at the first line. Tiny bubble, bigger bubble. And I'm gonna do that all the way down this line here. And the last one. There we go. And then I'm actually gonna do the same but on the other side here. So I'm starting here, the smaller bubble and the bigger bubble. I'm gonna do this one as well. So little bubble, big bubble. And I have a string line I need to erase there. Little one, big one. Like that. And I'm gonna turn my book around. And then I'm gonna do the exact same thing over here. So I would have a bubble coming down here and one coming down here. And I would have a bit bubble and a big bubble. It is kind of a B shape you're doing here. And on the other side, I'm trying to make sure that you can see what I'm doing for my hand. Sometimes it is a little difficult, so I hope you can see what I'm doing. I'm used to holding my pen like that and then go really close, so when I'm doing these I'm trying to get it out a little more, and then I don't feel I have the same control, but I want to make sure that everyone can see what I am doing when I'm doing these tangles. Just making sure I don't have string lines and border lines that is in my way here. I'm gonna take this darker gray one and I'm just gonna fill in these orbs here just to give it a little more interest, but actually we are done with this pattern here. That's my cat playing around with a toy. We finally found a toy that our cats want to play with, so that's really good. So we picked up a few of them today, so they are having a blast. Anyway, that's it. Now I want to see, where's my charcoal? Here it is. Let's see. There is a few ways you can do some shading on this one. I think I'm gonna do here on the outside of these bubbles here. And of course, if you are on white paper, you're gonna do this with your graphite instead. Or you could even do it with some kind of colored charcoal. That would look really cool as well. There we go. Then I'm gonna, oh, I forgot this little piece over here and this one. So I'm gonna take this side here first because that is lying perfectly for my hand. I think this looks really nice. Then I am gonna turn my book around and I'm gonna take care of this other side here. I know some people like the sound of the Tortillion against the paper, so I'll paper against paper, but I'm really not good at this scratching sound, so when I am normally doing something with shading, I have music on when I'm working myself. And this little one here is actually making a lot of scratch sounds that I really don't like in my ears. Let's do it here on this side. Again, what we are doing on one piece, we are doing on the other pieces. I'm kind of just placing a line here. I need to sharpen this one. There we go. And again, I'm using my Tortillion. Placing it a tiny bit on the side. This way I can avoid my tip of my Tortillion to be ruined the first few times I'm using it. It will end up not be working that good anymore, and then I'm changing it out, and I have a drawer full of these Tortillions so that I can always take a new one when I need one. I use them quite quickly. I also do draw every day, so I go through a lot of these. There we go. That's the pattern for today. I actually think that looks pretty neat. I had a little shading there that I didn't like. Anyway, I think this one has turned out really, really cool. That's a nice pattern. I hope you will try it out. It was this pattern right here. So that is all for today. Thank you for watching. Have an attitude of gratitude.